Hi everybody, it's the Steckline Report. Nice to have you aboard. Friends, we've got EPA after us again, and we've got a lot of people that are after them. Primarily agricultural people, and all concerning water. Boy, what an issue not only water is today, but what it's going to be in the future. Maybe ending up to be the most important thing in our human lives. Stay tuned though, we'll talk about the EPA situation in a minute. Well, despite congressional opposition, friends, the EPA Administrator, Gina McCarthy, says that the Obama administration will finish the Clean Water Act that EPA sent to the Office of Management and Budget a week or so ago, and nobody that I know of outside of Washington wants this done. And in fact, House Ag Committee Chairman Michael Conway from Texas, he joined a group of other congressmen that sent them a letter saying, stop EPA from finalizing the rule. The United States Supreme Court twice rebuked EPA for overstepping its bounds, but unfortunately the Obama administration's response was to double down, Conway said. In its current form, this rule continues EPA's massive overreach, leading to exorbitant permitting costs, red tape, even effective loss of property use for landowners. Folks, almost everybody in agriculture is in agreement with the folks that wrote this letter. They don't want this thing finalized at all. However, the EPA administrator says that our intent was never to make your job more difficult. She says the agency will be careful in crafting the final rule by looking at every one of the million comments EPA has received. And she says the rule is one we're going to be proud of. She says, adding that people won't be surprised about it unless they thought they were not going to there would not be any changes from the original rule. That's what's got everybody concerned. Water, a big issue. In fact, I just found out here that an environmental group has threatened to sue a Lane County, Oregon slaughterhouse and meat packer, saying it discharged blood and other liquid waste in violation of the Clean Water Act. There isn't any doubt about it that we're going to have to be a lot more careful about things like that, if in fact they did that. In the meantime, we did open up our fed cattle situation to Mexico after a 12-year ban because of BSE. We can now ship some product that direction for slaughter. And it looks like we're gaining ground on planting corn. In fact, in Kansas, we're up a pretty good percentage on acres already. And it's amazing, folks, what this wheat market has done after a little bit of rain in the Midwest on the hard red winter wheat acres that partly were frozen out. And guess what? Still have a major problem because many of the areas that could use a drink hasn't received it. Well, there's another issue that is really of concern to a lot of folks here, but it really should be more of a concern to the people in the European Union, because the U.S. farm groups are asking our trade representative office to step in and ask the European Union and push them, telling them that it's a bad idea on something that they want to do. They want to break up the EU common market and let individual countries decide whether to allow importation of biotech commodities. Isn't that a sad deal? Here we have all this work years ago to put together 28 countries that are speaking with one voice, and now they want to break it up? Doesn't make sense. U.S. ag groups are watching closely to see whether the Commission will actually go ahead with the proposal. It's just now calling for it. Representatives from several U.S. farm groups are really meeting and talking with our chief ag negotiator for our trade department and asking him to discourage EU leaders from moving ahead with the plan. But the end result is something that I thought that, and they're kind of agreeing with us as we look at the different people around the country, this is a much tougher problem, friends, for the European Union than it is us, although it will affect our shipments to those countries. There isn't any doubt about it. not to the extent, in my opinion, that it's going to affect their situation when they're speaking with 28 different tongues instead of one, makes for trade difficulties much, much tougher. Hey, that's the way it is on this Steckline Report. See you next time around.